Hey guys, what is up? Randful here for Randful2, and today I am starting a brand new series on my second channel called Bukkit and Spigot Coding for Dummies. These videos are made to go side by side with the tutorials on my website. If you're watching this video on YouTube, a link in the description will be provided to where you can find the tutorial on my website. Everything is written out, I think, really well. So if there's anything that isn't clear in the videos, or if you're just more of a reader than a visual person, these tutorials may very well be for you. Otherwise, if you're more of a visual person and a listener or whatever and would prefer videos, then these videos are here for you. So anyways, this first video is going to be a little bit different because I'm kind of explaining a couple of things about the series, and I'm going to be going over two sections at the same time in the same video. Other videos will be dedicated to a single section with one video for each section. So this first video is going to be covering the additional information section and the downloading section. So let's go ahead and start out with the information section. So there are several resources that I've put together for you guys. The Bukkit plugin wiki tutorial, as well as the Spigot plugin wiki tutorial, the Bukkit forums, and the Spigot forums. Now, for those of you who don't already know, Bukkit and Spigot can, for the most part, be used interchangeably when when creating plugins. So sometimes I might call it Bukkit, sometimes I might call it Spigot, but for the most part, they are the same. So here are 4 resources I want to show you guys real fast. First off, the Bukkit plugin tutorial wiki. This is how I learned how to create Bukkit plugins. Very, very, very useful. If there's anything that I haven't explained clearly on my tutorials, it's probably covered in here, at least for the basics. Now, this tutorial does require you to know Java for you to be able to follow it very well. So if you don't know Java, that's kind of what my tutorials are for, but it's always a backup if there's anything that I didn't explain very well. There's also the Bukkit forums, a great place to get help. There is plugin development here, and you can post any questions that you might have. As you can see, most all of them have been answered, and they are active, with the last post being made 23 minutes ago. So that's the Bukkit forums. Then there's similarly the Spigot plugin wiki, the Spigot plugin wiki, and the Spigot forums. So these are very similar to the Bukkit plugin wiki and the Bukkit forums. So here's the Spigot plugin wiki and the Spigot forums. Again, you can just go here to Spigot plugin development. Also, I do want to mention I am the creator of the Bukkit Coding for Dummies Google Doc page, but this one is slightly out of date, but there's some useful comments here, and maybe it's just, I don't know, something that you guys might want to have. So if you're looking for it, here it is. But for the most part, my website's going to be the most up-to-date. So anyways, those are a couple of useful links that you guys might find, and some things I thought that you might enjoy having. Anyways, moving on to the downloading section. So there's a couple of things that you need to download before you can begin developing plugins. They are the Java Development Kit, the Eclipse IDE, and Bukkit or Spigot itself. And I'll be going over all of these in this section now. So first thing you need, the JDK, or the Java Development Kit. Now if you're watching this on YouTube, it'll be this similar link in the description, or this first link on the downloading page on my guide. So go ahead and click that. You'll be taken to this page right here. We're going to go here under the JDK section, and again, JDK just stands for Java Development Kit. Go ahead and click on download. Go ahead and read and accept the license agreement, and then you can choose whichever operating system you have, Linux, Mac, Solaris, or Windows. So I have Windows, so I choose Windows. It's very simple. You pretty much just hit next a couple of times. At least I know that's true for Mac and Windows. Hopefully Linux and Solaris, if there's any Linux or Solaris users out there, hopefully you can figure it out. It's pretty easy. If you need any help, any Mac or Windows users need help, feel free to contact me and I'll do my best to help you out. But I should also mention you can get 8U65 or 8U66 or whatever version is currently out. You can also try using Java 7. I know some people recommend using Java 7 rather than Java 8, but personally I'm using Java 8, so if you're following along with the tutorial, I would recommend getting Java 8 or whatever version is currently out for Java. So once you have the JDK, the next thing that you're going to need is Eclipse. Eclipse is what we Java programmers call, or actually we programmers call, an IDE, which stands for Integrated Development Environment. Now, an IDE is very, very, very helpful for whatever programming language you're using. Oftentimes it'll have things like code completion, it'll have a package manager, or some type of way of managing your packages or your projects, or your classes, or whatever, depending on your programming language. You can compile your project, a bunch of complicated things that you might not know what they do yet, but you'll see where they come in handy in a little bit once we start programming. So technically, you could just use Notepad, but we're going to be using Eclipse, which is like a super, super, super advanced version of Notepad. It's like a text editor with a lot more added, and you guys will see this in the next video. So go ahead and click on the second link on my guide, or the similar link in the description, and you'll be taken to this page right here. This is the Eclipse download page. Now, it should automatically detect your operating system. So for me, it detected Windows. But if it didn't automatically do that for you, up here there's Mac OS X, Windows, and Linux downloads for both 32 and 64-bit. But for me, it automatically detected Windows, and I'm 64-bit, so I'll click on that. Then on the right here, you're just going to want to click right here on Direct Link to File. Go ahead and click on that, and it's going to start downloading a zip file with Eclipse. So while that downloads, you're also going to need Spigot. And actually, before I move on, let me just mention to you guys, if you're already a Java programmer and you've used NetBeans and you are comfortable with it and familiar with it and know what you're doing in it, feel free to use NetBeans. I'm personally going to be using Eclipse. It's what I've always used. It's what I am most comfortable with. It's what a lot of people use. So that's going to be what I'm going to be using. And if you're not familiar with Java or NetBeans, I would definitely recommend going with Eclipse. But NetBeans is an option as well. Anyways, time to get Spigot or Bukkit. Now, on my guide, there's this section right here, or sorry, down here, that explains how to obtain Spigot or Bukkit. Now, very, very recently, I found this new website called Get Spigot, which makes it so much easier to get Spigot or Bukkit really easily. So, if this website is not up, I'm going to leave this section up on my website. Otherwise, I would definitely recommend this method. It's very easy. You just go to getspigot.org and you're going to choose between Spigot or Bukkit. Now, which one do you choose, you might ask? Well, here's what I always say. If your server is already running either Spigot or Bukkit, get whatever your server is running. So if you have a Spigot server, get Spigot. If you have a Bukkit server, get Bukkit. Otherwise, if you don't already have a server, it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to be getting Spigot because it's what I always use. So go ahead and choose one, download it, and you're going to want to store it somewhere safe, somewhere where it's not going to be moved, renamed, deleted, anything like that. In the next video, I'll show you guys my workspace and kind of how I sort everything and where I put files and stuff like that. But for now, just put it somewhere where it's not going to be moved or deleted or anything like that. So once you have those three things done, Java JDK installed, Eclipse downloaded, and Spigot or Bukkit downloaded, you have finished the downloading section of my guide, and you're ready for the next video. So anyways, I do appreciate all of you for sticking around. Appreciate it, really means a lot. If you enjoyed this video and want more of the series, feel free to subscribe, give a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and I'll be creating a playlist soon. And also, all the videos should be able to be found on my website as well, alphanator.net. Link in the description will be provided. Anyways, that's it for now. Hope to see you guys in the next video. Thanks again.